There's something very concerning and palpable that I've noticed since coming out of the Watchtower. Now, as somebody who came out of the Watchtower, I can recognize propaganda and slander against conscientious objectors to dogmas that should be questioned. I recognize it right away. And I recognize it with Trinitarian stalwarts like Walter Martin, who I don't even think is still alive. But he's been extremely influential, just like the governing body has been for and with Jehovah's Witnesses. People like Walter Martin and James White and religious leaders who people look up to as just amazing individuals, amazing Christian men, they have absolutely spread identical propaganda like the Watchtower does against people who question what should be questioned. If there's anything in the world that should be questioned, it would be the Watchtower's blood doctrine and Yeshua being Michael the Archangel and 1914 being the good news and all these ridiculous things that the Watchtower propagates. And we all know that those who question those things, you can't keep doing it if you want to remain a witness. And we all know that if you aren't a witness anymore, what is said about you and what the witnesses then proceed to believe about you, you're mentally diseased, you're a cult, you're a heretic, an apostate, you're scum, you're probably the worst kind of person on earth, frankly. Even worse than an atheist, probably, if you've left Jehovah's organization because they think that's Jehovah's channel, which, of course, is ridiculous. We know that now, many of us. But I see no difference in what they're doing in regards to that than what I see Trinitarian leaders doing. I noticed on Muzzle Christian One's latest video, he has bought the propaganda from Trinitarian leaders just like he bought the governing bodies. He's bought the propaganda that those who question the Trinity, which is a blood-guilty dogma with lots and lots of blood in its trail. It wasn't established peacefully, folks. You can believe that if you'd like, and you can also say that it's been believed, ever since Christ, if you want, but it's just not true. But the fact is that it was established in councils of men who put it in writing, just like the Watchtower dogmas are. They establish those in councils of men and put them in writing and say, if you don't believe this, you won't be saved, and you're not a Christian. That's exactly what happened with the Trinity dogma. But I noticed in Andrew's latest video that he now has bought the Trinitarian propaganda hook, line, and sinker and thinks that anybody who doesn't believe in it is a cultist, a wolf, a heretic, a false teacher, unsaved, unchristian. And so he's proceeding to not only buy the propaganda, but to cement it and propagate it himself. And I find that really, really sad. Yeah, you will hear from people like James White and other noteworthy Trinitarian authors who've written books on the dogma that you should fear with great, great fear. You should definitely fear questioning the Trinity. You don't want to be doing that. That's exactly what the Watchtower does. Oh, don't you dare question us. You don't want to be doing that. You'll lose all your favor with God, and you'll even lose your salvation. So don't question this. And that's exactly what Trinitarians do. You can listen to Walter Martin's speeches, and he acts like the best reason to leave the Watchtower would be because they don't believe in the Trinity. Oh, really? It has nothing to do with them not being born again or not having Jesus as mediator or believing that there's an anointed class and then a class below them. No, none of that. What's really wrong with the Watchtower is that they don't believe in the Trinity. You have got to be kidding me. There are brothers and sisters all over the world of mine who do not believe in the Trinity. And they're called cultists by people like muzzled Christians now just because of it. And Ray Franz talks about this kind of a mindset in his books when he says that people coming out of the Watchtower are all too quick to embrace whatever the Watchtower doesn't believe, hook, line, and sinker, and buy propaganda again. I bought it as a witness, and I could have easily bought it from others coming out of the organization. And I noticed that many, many people have. But I'm not going to go there, and I hope that anybody listening who has bought that propaganda and proceeds to still possess the mindset of a Jehovah's Witness, just like a Jehovah's Witness, where you're going to label, condemn, shun, and treat horribly those who question something that should be questioned. That you need to get rid of that mindset. But if you want to maintain it, if you want to go to another system and buy different propaganda, well, I say different only in that it has to do with a different subject, but it's the same type of propaganda, that's up to you, but hopefully you might think about it anyway. And that's the purpose for this video. And of course it was an off-the-cuff rant and probably should have been written down to make sense of it better, but I didn't really feel like doing that. So thanks for listening anyway, and God bless you all. Well, there's my phone.